Okay then, so this is footage of the arcade port of King of Dragons, um, which is a fun and dandy game. Um, to be fair, this is the first time I played the arcade version of this game. I always played the SNES version. To also be fair, um, I wanted to buy this game, but I had a choice between this and King of Dragons, and I went with King of Dragons for one of my locations. So, yeah, this is the first time I played this game. You know the arcade version. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it for what it is. So, but now that we got that out the way, I'm just going to tell you what's happening, what's going on. As per the usual, as Mr. Red Fox here, I'm talking news of the week. I'm going to talk about how I feel about the news about Rockstar working people with tremendous amounts of overtime to get Red Dead Redemption 2 out the door. I'm going to talk about how I feel about some other gaming news that's been coming out that interests me. So, and then I'll just give a little editorial about how I feel about some other things that have been bothering me. So, with that being said, let's get to it after the cut. So, this one's just basically about Rockstar. It's recently come to light that Rockstar has been working their developers like dogs in order to get Red Dead Redemption 2 out the door. Now, to be fair, I'm not really like look, I don't plan on getting this game just because like the first Red Dead Redemption was one of the most boring open world games I've ever played. Like, it was just really, really fucking boring. And I don't really want to contribute to another one. I found the game to be kind of, I don't want to give my money to someone who's going to basically sell me a game that's going to bore the shit out of me. So, I mean, I don't want to play another game like that. Plus, to be fair, I already played the general premise of Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption came out. It was a little game released by Activision, made by the team that made the Tony Hawk games during the 6th and 5th gen. And it was a little game called Gun. And Gun was basically Red Dead Redemption, except it had a better story and more interesting characters. The only downside is that it was like during the 6th gen, so they didn't have the massive open world that existed in Red Dead Redemption. But you did have lots of weapons. There was a tale of revenge. There was hunting. There was trapping. There was bounty hunting. There was poker. There was all the shit that we, attribute to Red Dead Redemption was done on Gun, except on 6th gen hardware. So, when Activision still did different things and wasn't always doing the same shit over and over and over again. But anyway, I'm a huge fan of Gun. It's like one of my favorite open world games. So basically, like when I played Red Dead Redemption, I was not really impressed, and the sequel, like, is less impressive to me because it's gonna have more of Rockstar's, bullshit ass forcing people microtransactions, putting online multiplayer into shit that really doesn't need online multiplayer. Just stuff that kind of pisses me off. So I'm not down with that, so I'm not taking part of it. But we're not here to talk about that, or at least that's not a part of it. But these people, these developers, are working hard to get this game to come out, and Rockstar is essentially saying, well, fuck you. We're going to give you cram time and make you work, And here's the thing, look. I have nothing against working hard for X, Y, or Z. I have nothing against that. What bothers me with Rockstar is that they're essentially, fucking those people over. And that bothers me. Because, I don't know about you, but look, listen, okay? I currently got my master's this summer. I have a bachelor's degree, high school, junior high, whatever. Never in my academic career, or when I was working, on Capitol Hill, or for other people, never in my life have I seen a massive project be good when people crammed to get it done. Matter of fact, generally speaking, when someone crams to get a project done, it sucks. It really sucks. More often than not. Because basically, people are going to let shit slide that is not necessarily going to be worthwhile, They're going to think it's awesome because they're just trying to get the shit done in time. Like, cramming is not going to make this shit better, typically speaking. Not to mention, that's the product. That's the cost of the product. Making people cram for shit is not necessarily going to make it better. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to make it worthwhile or more interesting or anything like that. And, you're hurting your developers. This is why you have burnout. But this is Rockstar, and that's what they do. Destroying entire studios. So, the human cost is there. Like, the human cost of these people. And it's sad because they should be able to do better. Like, they shouldn't be forced to do this. They shouldn't be forced to have crunch time. Like, and I understand that, like, the movie industry or someone writing a book, until something is due, like, you want to have more time to polish things up and make stuff look good. But, at a certain point, you have to let something go out and see how it does, At a certain point. And it's just kind of weird how people just refuse to let that happen with a lot of this shit, which kind of bothers me a little bit. But, it is what it is. People aren't going to listen. They're going to do whatever the hell they want, regardless of what happens. So, that's just how I feel about it. Give me your thoughts in the comment section as we go on to the next news story after the cut. So, this video was originally going to be a lot shorter, but life happened and I never released it. So, I wound up combining a more recent bit of news with this video, making one big video. So, basically, as of late, we're seeing a lot of bullshit coming out in the gaming industry, and I think it's time to talk about it. Because it's never too late to talk about bullshit. So, without much ado, the bullshit I'm talking about is all of these damn ports. Now, I know some people are going to say, but ports aren't ports. Look, ports are useful when you have a game that is, when you have a title that was that initially didn't sell well, or like it was in a a very niche title that should have been, that needed a wider audience in order for it to be successful. For example, doing ports of, say, Sega doing ports of Sonic the Hedgehog makes sense because it used to be only on one platform, and then when they stopped releasing consoles, it made sense that they would have, other things, put Sonic on other things. It makes sense for there to be ports of, RPGs that used to be on one platform. I'm glad that Chrono Trigger is available on other platforms. But, personally, I'm tired of Mega Man ports because you can get them on everything. You could get them on everything back in the day. You could get Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. You could get Mega Man games not only on the NES but on the Game Boy. You could get Mega Man games not only on the PlayStation 1 but on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube and eventually the Xbox. I mean, look, I like Mega Man, but I'm happier that there's a new Mega Man game than getting ports of old shit. Recently we've heard that Sega might create might release Dreamcast games on the Switch. I'm down with that. I'm cool. I would rather them make new installments of Dreamcast games than a whole bunch of ports of Dreamcast games. If you get what I'm talking about, okay, I would rather have a new Skies of Arcadia than just get a port of Skies of Arcadia. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Skies of Arcadia. I have the Dreamcast version, the GameCube, and the GameCube version. And I would love for there to be another one. But, I would rather there be a Skies of Arcadia 2 than just a fucking, re-release. So yeah. If I have anything else to say, about that. I think that, people are way too anxious to always go with. People don't think deeply about these things. They think, they have almost a Pavlovian response to these things. It's like, oh, it's a game it's a franchise that I like. Okay, but there's more to it than that. It's like, when gamers started accepting bullshit, it became the norm for the industry. When gamers started accepting paying for peer-to-peer servers, which means if you had an internet connection, an ISP, internet service provider, you were paying for that network. Why should I give you extra money for shit that I'm already paying for by virtue of me having an ISP? And yet we deal with that. We accept that. So my point behind all of this is to simply say this. Gaming should be fun, and yet there's bullshit involved with it that no one really talks about or thinks about or says anything about. So that being said, that's the end of this segment. We'll get to the next segment, which is the conclusion after the cut. So it's time for our conclusion. So basically, I'm just going to put it like this. Essentially speaking, gamers, we hold our fate in our hands. All right. We are the architects of our own destiny. What we accept, what we let go, what we complain about, those are the factors that are going to determine how we play, what we do. And it's important that we realize this. I wish gamers were more in tune with these things. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. I have some other videos coming out this Halloween weekend, even though it's not officially Halloween. So look forward to that. So peace. Oh, and this Saturday, I will be doing a sci-fi power hour-ish, talking about the Netflix cancellations, especially of Luke Cage and Daredevil. And this Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will also be doing BS Busters, talking about the news of the week in gaming. So, peace.